One, two, your boy Justice Baz, live direct. I was trying to go live on my laptop, but laptop acting crazy, so I'm like, I gotta use my phone, whatever I gotta do to get it across. Because tried to go live last night for some reason. I had audio issues. You know what I'm saying? You know how they say, you don't succeed, try again. So I'm putting in the chat. This is the extension, the link, if you want to comment and weigh in on this topic that I'm, talking about specifically. And the topic is women who allow their sons, grown sons, to live with them. Is it a business ship type of relationship, business ship, or is it a crutch? You know what I'm saying? Um, because I noticed I've pretty much I'm a single black male. Um, been dating. Let me rephrase that. I've been dating for since I was 18. Obviously, I'm older now, I'm like 45. And my point is, I've met a lot of women that what I realize is they have their children living with them, and there's nothing wrong with if you have daughters that need to be guided a little bit more. Sons need to be guided more. They're not mature enough. But if you like 25, if you're 30 and you still living at home with your mom, unless it's an emergency and you really need a brief temporary stay, you should not be living at home with your mom. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I see a lot of women allow, you know what I'm saying? They allow their children to live with them. And like I said, it could be just they want to furthermore prepare them for the real world. But a lot of times I notice it's properly out of just, oh, it's my child, so I got to take care of them. Animals, if you look at nature, animals, especially with birds, as soon as that bird opens his eyes, the baby bird is able to open up his eyes and able to move a little bit. The mom is pushing him off, like, go ahead. And I know, what I'm saying, we're gonna ruffle some feathers with this one. Hey, it is what it is. But it's like the entitlement, and it goes across the board, not just with the women, the men. You got entitlement with the children, and they feel entitled because of maybe the lack of the dad around, so the mom is a little more lenient on them, or you know, oh, take it easy on him. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have his dad around, and he didn't have all the latest Jordans and material, whatever. What does that mean? The point is, what I'm getting at is the tough love, the sternness is gone now. You know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause I know growing up, and I'm not comparing myself to nobody. I'm just giving examples of life experiences. But when I was growing up, my mom put me on an airplane at, I wasn't even 13. I believe I was like 12, 13. I said I was 13 years old. I rode an airplane to South Carolina to to see to see my godmother in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach. No, actually it was Georgetown. You know what I'm saying? And I pretty much it was different era. I was born in 77, so I'm gonna say in the 80s it was different era. Now it is. You know what I'm saying? And we in different times. Like I said, I understand all that, but you just can't allow certain things. And nowadays, it's like so much is allowed. You know what I'm saying? So much is tolerated just because, oh, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to. Tough love is gone though. And you don't think, especially males need that. You don't think that They need the sternness, and that's the difference of why a man and a woman is different. Because a woman is wired differently. She's wired to nurture. She's wired to be emotional, attached. She's wired to be, and it's different now as well too. Now with the women nowadays versus the old school modern women. But what I'm saying is the modern households is different from back then to now because you know what I'm saying. Um, because what the hell? Got the wrong battery. But it's different now because some of the women are, they've been through so much, been through a lot of maybe verbal abuse, physical, whatever, emotional. So now they're becoming more hardwired, hard boiled like a man. So um, they basically are, becoming more aggressive. You know what I'm saying? They call it alpha, and everybody has alpha in them. You know what I'm saying? It's not just men, it's women as well. But it seems like now the women are trying to be too alpha and too masculine to where it's the unbalance of the scales. You know what I'm saying? Um, it's just a lot of things need to be addressed and changed. You know what I'm saying? Men and women, we have some things we have to work on. Definitely. You know what I'm saying? So it's like get this off of here. I don't know why this shit is in there. But end of the day, it's just like, what are you gonna do? Because people are so sensitive, you can't tell people, oh, you should do this or try this. You can't give advice no more because people take things the wrong way. You know what I mean? And even, it could be a human trait. It could be natural to have instincts to where you know what I'm saying, to where you are gonna be too hard on people, pardon. And people think it's gonna be you know, just an all out attack on them, especially a certain community. I ain't gonna mention the elemental P community, that's another topic. But my thing is just, why are people not able to take constructive criticism? You know what I'm saying? And why can't you not be tough on these men? Remember, they're teenagers, but they also are going to be young men, adults. And if they're 25, 30, still living at home with you, and you're not giving them that push that they need to get out, they're gonna think it's a crutch. That's why I said, is this a crutch or is it a business ship? Because sometimes you got women that fuck their money up or they did not do good in their career decisions and they need that extra income from their sons. So they got them staying there just so they can make it by, just so they could, they get by. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, come on. Like I said, men, we have work to do in our relationships with our children, definitely when it comes to molding and shaping and giving that proper guidance. Because a man can't be a man, without that man figure. They need that masculine energy. You know what I'm saying? And a woman has some, but she doesn't have enough as a man. She doesn't have that physical connection that a male has with another man, with his dad. You know what I'm saying? So end of the day, you have to make a decision. Do you want your son to be a strong black king? Do you want to grow up and be, strong? And do you want him to do you really want him to succeed? Or do you want him to fail with the destructive behavior? You know what I'm saying? With the destructive way of thinking and mentality. You know what I mean? It's like, what are we doing here? Um, I don't know. It's a lot of layers in this. You know what I'm saying? A lot of different angles to come in at this. But I wanted to talk about this for a while, and if you feel offended, if you feel I'm talking about you, sorry you feel that way. That's not the case. I'm just generally speaking on this topic. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just trying to make sure knowledge is born, and what I'm getting at, and everybody to see. And if you want to speak about it, speak about it. If you don't, you don't. It's fine. You don't want want to speak on it, you don't have to speak on it. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I'm just trying to so understand what want to feel what people where they're coming from in this topic. I know it's gonna be women gonna have one side, men gonna have one side, whatever, whatever. And like I said, it's not just really about women; it's about men as well. But specifically, it's the women. Like I said, because I'm a man, so I'm speaking from a man point of view, and I've witnessed a lot of situations where either you can't tell your son no. A lot of times it'd be they can't control their kids, and it's like that's another thing. It's like how you gonna try to get a relationship with a man, a grown man, and you trying to control this grown man that you're dealing with in the sexual level, an intimate level, you trying to control him when you can't even control your 18-year-old, 21-year-old son. And it's like, come on. And it's not even about control. It's about having some type of respect, some type of boundaries and authoritative figure. And a lot of times these sons don't respect their mom because they see their mom got men coming in out the house, or they dealing with all these different men, or they dealing with all these different situations, business ships, sexual relationships, whatever, and they lost the respect from their mom. So their mom feel like, damn, he know my dark secrets, my past. Maybe I have no choice but to let him live with me. And it's another layer, even is deeper than that. It's a lot of women, especially when the children are young. I'm gonna say like 10, 11, 12, 13. They tend to portray the image of their young boyfriend, living boyfriend. Like, oh, I'm single, I don't have nobody but me and my son. So man, don't approach me because me and my son is all we got in God. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is like, you can't also relive your boyfriend or your baby father or your past fantasies, guys, with your children, with your sons, by putting on a chain, putting on a fitted cap, whatever. If you want to wear that, it's cool. But if he's 11, 12 years old, 13 years old, sometime we try to relive our fantasies to our children or our wants and needs, no, wants and gratifications to our children. You know what I'm saying? Like how they dress, how they act. Sometimes we try to live that out by putting that, implementing that in them. But if it's positive, nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? As long as they know negative thoughts, negative, what I'm saying, intimates, sentiments, you try to portray these children and let them see. You want to try to put positive images out. But back to the topic, like I said, women who let their grown sons live with them. Is it a business ship or is it a crutch? Or is it merely plain I'm gonna say the wrong word, but just making them the path to destruction. Because if you don't raise a son properly, you don't raise a boy properly to become a young man, and if you don't teach him the proper, what I'm saying, guidance, and if you don't really give him that proper masculine energy, because that's what he really needs. He needs masculine energy, but he also needs that true role model, that manly figure in his life. You know what I'm saying? It's like a girl needs that mom figure. You know what I'm saying? That positive influence growing up. And a lot of times we just don't have that. You know what I mean? We don't know how to bring that out on children, I should say. You know what I mean? But that's also what it is. Sometimes people just know how to bring it out. Don't know how to bring out the best because they wasn't really taught properly. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, what I realize, have issues, sexuality. You know what I'm saying? People have a lot of sexuality issues as far as being molested, or molestation growing up, touched. They didn't really know what to identify with their sexuality because either they was distracted, they was deterred. They told them, no, you're not that, you're this, or just your upbringing. If you see a lot of images of this and you thinking that's cool to play with a Barbie doll and you 7, 8 years old, you're a boy, and you wearing purses and painting your nails. You know what I'm saying? That's and when you're a certain age, you don't know no better. That's why the parents is very imperative to teach and properly train. But when you get a certain age, you're able to discern, okay, this is right, this is not right. That doesn't look right, that looks wrong. You know what I'm saying? You can able to discern that when you get about 18. But I don't know. Like I said, people want to weigh in, click the link under the comment and you could join in. You know what I'm saying? Women who let their grown sons live with them. Is it a business ship or is it a crutch? And I know guys have a lot to say about this. You know what I mean? I know it's kind of early. I usually go live in the evening, but you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm chilling right now. Let me just jump on here real quick with my thoughts is still aligned. You know what I mean? And I don't know. It's like, because like I said, I dealt with some women in my lifetime, and I seen so many different scenarios. I have enough information up here. I can damn to write a book. But this part right here, particularly, is it was really had me thinking. Is like, you know, let's address this and let's really try to get to the meat and potatoes of this. Let's get under the underlying layer. What is it about it? Why do a lot of women let their sons, and I ain't talking about 12, 13, 15, 16-year olds. I ain't talking about 17, 18-year olds mainly. I'm talking about the woman who got 21, 25-year olds, damn near 30-year olds living with them still. You know, and that's another thing. You got to think sexually, like, yo, because most, I know, you know, when I was growing up, like I said, it's different. About that time, when you get to be 18, 19, you start to date. Or at least you got a little girlfriend or something, right? And you looking more or less to try to get your own place together if y'all been dating for a while, or you know, you finish in high school, you in college, maybe you pursue, you working a job or two, and it's like you're not really trying to still be with mom. You ready to get out and experience life. And like I said, when I was on an airplane at 13 by myself, you know what I'm saying? So my mom set me up to be independent and to not really want to depend on somebody else to have your own. Right in the airplane at 13. She put me on the bus at like 13, 14, telling me to find your way home. Just different scenarios and situations. Because really, it's like critical thinking skills when you put in a situation. That's why in the military, they train you, they put you in a desert somewhere, find your way back. They give you a compass, give you some water, whatever, whatever. And it's come to critical thinking skills. It's like, how can you survive in a challenging time when you ain't got mom, dad, you ain't got no significant other. You have yourself, you got common sense, but you really have to develop them critical thinking skills and survival skills. You know what I'm saying? Without necessarily harming anyone. You know what I mean? If you got to get an animal and kill him to eat, that's different. But I'm not talking about killing another human being in the same struggle as you. Nah, that's not what you do. But why do women allow their children to live with them? Mainly the males in their 20s, mid 30s. Something wrong with that. And there's something really troubling with that. And it's not developing to be strong, masculine, provider males if they always know they have to go back home. Oh, mom's gonna always open the door for me, feed me a meal, give me a couple of dollars, let me bring my little chick over, smoke my weed in the basement. If that's all you're content with, then you just a sad male. You know what I'm saying? But I mean the women who come from the strong backgrounds, them strong southern, old school roots, where you raise your son, to a certain age to where he done with high school, now he going into college or he going into his profession, his trade, and he has a little girlfriend on the side. But end of the day, he's preparing himself to be sufficient and to have his own. Like the saying always says, God bless the child who has his own, right? And like I said, especially during this pandemic and all this nonsense we was going through in the last few years with the powers that want to be, things got tough. People lost their jobs. People was unemployed. People went through, what I'm saying, unprecedented times where they needed support from family, friends, and loved ones. They had to go back home for a little while. Maybe they had to go, um, you know, they had to go from driving to going back to the bus or public transportation, taxi, Lyft, cab, Uber, whatever. There's nothing wrong with that because you're gonna take strides, ups and downs in life. But I'm talking about the sons who've been living at home since they was came out the fucking vagina. And here they are, 25, 35, still living at home with mom. But you on social media flashing stacks of cash and this and that. You should have all that money saved. Your mom let you stay with her forever, and you ain't got to pay them any bills. You probably got just maybe she might charge you for RG&E, charge you for rent. But if you ain't got your own place where you're paying your own rent, your own RG&E, if you have a vehicle, fortunately, you paying for car insurance, you paying for a car note. I've been there paying 600 a month, trying to survive. Still got to pay rent, everything else. You know what I mean? If you ain't been there, you won't understand. But the point is, you want to prepare a young man, a young teenager to be a man to understand that. You want to grow them up to understand what it is to live at home with a woman, and y'all both, paying bills. Y'all both securing the crib. Y'all both take care of family. Y'all getting up every day, being responsible adults. That's what you want to prepare a teenager for, a young boy, a young male for, so he can grow up and experience adult day-to-day life activities and decisions. But if they underneath their mom all day, they fingering their ass on the fucking social media, flipping through Facebook or motherfucking playing a video game 10, 11 o'clock in the daytime. Like, what possibly can they be learning? What experiencing? So that's why I say it's partially y'all fault because y'all gonna set them up for failure if you're not stirring on them, if you're not putting in that, you know what I'm saying, that hard, tough love, discipline, but it starts young, and sometimes kids they waver. They'll start off good, do the right things, listen, take care of their business, but then they'll start going the other way at a certain age. We all know it. We had children. If you did, you understand. They rebel at a certain age, but you have to even go stronger with that hammer. You know what I'm saying? That hammer of discipline, that hammer of knowledge, that hammer of you gonna respect me. I'm still an adult, regardless that you growing a little bit and you got motherfucking hair on your balls and shit like that. You still my son, and I'm still the father, and you got to lay it down. And same with the mom. I'm the mom, you the daughter. You got to listen to me, or you gonna get out. And definitely, my mom was on that. Certain age, if you don't go to school, you don't work, you can't stay here. You better find somewhere else to go because it's about productivity. It's about elevation, and it's about maturing. And that's another thing. A lot of men, women have not matured. That's why their children suffered because they have not matured. Because you got moms and dads still running the streets out here. You know what I'm saying? You got moms trying to live their best life, nothing wrong with it. But if you 45, why are you competing with your 21-year-old daughter? You know what I'm saying? Let her live her life. Give her the basic necessities she need, information, and let her move on and live her life. And you still deal with her from a distance, but you still in her life. You know what I'm saying? When she needs you. But don't be trying to compete to you want to go in the club and you want to wear your tighties and get your eyelashes done and your hair and nails and all that. And then, you want to compete with your daughter and all her little friends and see if you still got it. That's not your circle to be around. Like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? You want to still live that life. You want to still be 25 when you're 45. And if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But you got to remember, you still got grandkids. At the end of the day, they're gonna look up to you like your daughter looked up to you. That's why she don't respect you now, some of y'all, because she's seen the lifestyle you live and the shit you've been through, and she's like, I can't repeat this. You know what I'm saying? But you always gotta respect your mom and dad, regardless. Says it in the Bible, the basic instructions before leaving Earth, that you must cherish your mother and father, or days be numbered on Earth. You know what I mean? Not necessarily cherish. You must respect and honor them. Remember that it wasn't for your mom and dad, you wouldn't be on this earth. So you have to definitely respect the fact that they, birthed you, gave you life. But you don't got to kiss nobody's ass. But you also have to respect authority, and that's another reason these kids is crazy nowadays. They don't respect authority, no authoritative figure, and people suffer in the wakes of that. So you know what I mean. But I just feel like man, it's a lot of layers to this. You know what I'm saying? I could go on and on and on with this. It's a lot of different layers when dealing with this particular topic, you know. And the business ship part, like I was saying, because you got the crutch. I just broke all the crutch down. The business ship is okay. And this part I understand. If you got, see, I got a $400,000 house, $200,000 house. Don't even have to be that much. It could be a $60,000, $70,000 house. The point is, y'all living together. Say maybe mom living with son taking care of mom because she's elderly, she had an injury, or they got a grandmother in the house, or another live-in relative that needs some assistance. That's another way that's acceptable, and that makes sense. But you got the business ship that a lot of people, what I'm talking about, is a lot of women let their sons live with them because they can't pick up the bill. They struggling financially, so they need their son's income to come help pay their rent, to come help pay their RGD, so they could party and live the best life. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Not saying that's all the time, but that's another element. That's another perspective you gotta look at too. Because, like I said, I've seen it all. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying I'm the best individual. I got lots to work on as well. But what I'm saying is, in this particular topic, that, you know, in 2023, it's like things is flipped. The men is the woman is the men. People trying to be something they're not. People want to be, black women want to look white women want to look black. It's just like everything is flipped and the information is flipped. But only if you have your third eye open and you're able to see through, what I'm saying, the matrix and see what's really going on, you can tell uh, what's being perpetuated. You can see the agenda, basically. So this was a brief live. I didn't want to be too long. I did it early because I'm a spontaneous guy. I don't really set times. I don't really set plans, which I should do more. But I feel like sometimes when you set times, when you set plans, it never goes according to plan. Mostly, it'll be delayed. It'll be knocked off. Sometimes spontaneity is the best way, especially if you have a thought on your brain. If you have something you want to share, that's what this platform is for. You could jump on, express your thoughts, get off your chest. And a lot of times that could be a good stress mechanism. It could be a good way for somebody to stop themselves from doing something drastic. Think about it. If you're ready to go, I'm not saying everybody think like this, or I don't think like this. I'm just saying for the people that wake up one day so stressed, they want to just take it out on everybody. They want to go beat up somebody, shoot up somebody, stab something. Sometimes going online and just having good affirmations, good thoughts, talking, or even listening to someone could change your whole outlook on the day, maybe even on life. You know what I'm saying? That's why you need that good conversation. That's why motivational speakers are paid handsomely because, a lot of people need that good conversation, they need that good talk with themselves, but sometimes you need to hear it from another person, another perspective to make it make more sense. You know what I'm saying? Like dealing with school, dealing with studying information. Some people are better with listening. They record their teachers and play it back later and pick it up versus being live, have somebody talking to them, they pick it up better. Everybody has their preferences and different ways of collecting knowledge. And that's what knowledge is, the mental obtainment of information. You know what I'm saying? That's really what knowledge is, to know the ledge. Man's, woman, and child, basic enduring need to find his explanation or his or her explanation in existence in this realm. And that's brief on that. You know what I'm saying? So protons, electrons always cause explosions. Today's math, wisdom, equality. You know what I'm saying? Because through a wise dome comes wise words, ways, and actions. And that adds on to equality. You know what I mean? Teaching knowledge equally. Once you are a civilized being and you can make knowledge born, you want to teach equality to the masses. You know what I'm saying? Each one teach one. That's the duty of a civilized individual. You know what I mean? So that's 26. And that also completes the alphabet, zigzag, zig. And 26 alphabet in supreme alphabet is zigzag, zig is Z. You know what I mean? Complete cipher. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding, zigzag, zig. 26. Forms on the bill. So, you know, however you take this topic, because however you take it, it's like I said, it's a lot of different layers. Um, I could go on and on with this, but I'm gonna keep it pretty brief right there. And women who let their grown sons live with them. Is it a business ship or a crutch? It all depends on how you think. It all depends on your perspective. You know what I mean? But like I said, I had not just experience, but people told me of experiences they had dealing with this and dealing with women who allowed their children, especially their male sons, to do whatever they wanted, to roam, you know, to run rampant in the house and in life without no type of consequences. But sometimes that consequence that do come later be the one that they never really wanted or expected. You know what I mean? So just think about that next time 8 o'clock come and your son tell you he want to roam the streets or he want to go to a party Saturday night. So I'll start with that decision. You know what I'm saying? And I know nobody want, to sit in the house on the weekend. Nobody want to be home shacked up. But you gotta remember we living in now, these days and times, 2023. It's a lot going on out there, That one day that you choose to stay home and be bored or to look sad in the house might be the day that saves your life. You know what I'm saying? Protons and electrons always cause explosions. Your boy Justin Shabazz. Have a beautiful, productive Wednesday, which they call hump day, right? In a 5-day work week. Who came up with that nonsense? Work 5 days, only two off. And remember, it's 365 days in a year. So you calculate that up, you're working 80% of the time. You at work, then 20 at home, right? So you're doing 20% productive with your time for you. What you want to do, you only got 20% of the time to do that because 80 you at work. Crazy, right? How they set this United States of America up for you to work to 65. Now they're trying to raise it to 70 for you get Social Security. 72, right? And that's why they're having that big protest over, you know, that other country. I forgot the name of that country where they protesting that they raising the age, and people ain't trying to hear that. And I understand it's ridiculous. People barely living to 50 years old right now. You got millionaires, Michael Jackson's, the princes of the world, Bernie Macs. They have millions and still past that 50. And it's another angle at that too. Maybe it could be controversial, but that just shows you if you're a millionaire and can't make it past 50, how the hell can a poor man make it past 50 in these times and days when everything's super high? Crazy. But they say work till 72, then you'll get Social Security. They gotta change a lot of shit, man. That's one thing. My thing is if I've been working since I was 15, which I have, and I'm 45 now, that's 30 years of consistent work history. Shouldn't I be able to early, borrow or not borrow? Can I just get some of the money I got from me all them years and retire myself and live with the, what I'm saying, consequences? Or I gotta wait, see if I can make another 40 years, no, another 30 years in this world, 25 years maybe, to get something from Uncle Sam. It's a scam. Remember the Ponzi scheme? That's what America is still doing to this day. I'm out. Peace. Enjoy your day.